What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction, and in this one we have India checkmates China in South China Sea. Now I'm excited to jump into this and see what India did to checkmate China. Before we do, if you would like to support the channel by becoming a member, all you gotta do is hit that join button to receive exclusive benefits. But without further ado, see how India checkmated.
17th June 2024. On this day, the Philippine Navy encountered its most violent clash with the Chinese Coast Guard in over a decade. This happened about 105 nautical miles west of Philippines near the Second Thomas Shoal, a submerged reef in the Spratly Islands of the South China Sea. This confrontation is part of a series of aggressive actions by China. For instance, in April 2024, Chinese Coast Guard vessels blasted Philippine boats with water cannons near Scarborough Shoal. And in March 2024, a Philippine ship was damaged and 4 crewmen were injured during a mission to deliver supplies to a grounded warship on the hotly contested Second Thomas Shoal. As tensions in the South China Sea escalate, the focus shifts increasingly on the Philippines' defense capabilities. With over 700 ships, including 2 aircraft carriers, 61 submarines, and 49 destroyers, China's Navy dominates the region. In stark contrast, the Philippine Navy has around 111 vessels, with no aircraft carriers or submarines and only 2 frigates. This stark difference explains why Manila is urgently seeking to modernize its forces and build strategic alliances with like-minded countries, one of these being India.
The Philippines has received the BrahMos missiles.
Welcome back. Now, the first batch of the Indian BrahMos supersonic cruise missiles have been delivered to Philippines.
On the 19th of April 2024, India delivered BrahMos supersonic cruise missiles to the Philippines, the first batch of a $375 million deal with Manila. That will see New Delhi provide 3 batteries of the missile to the Philippines. But why is India, traditionally seen as a neutral player, actively arming a nation embroiled in a territorial dispute with China?
First of all, I don't like China being bullies in the first place, bro. Correct me if I'm wrong. I said it in a recent video, and you guys might have commented. I said that aren't you supposed to, like, a certain amount of sea off of your coast of your land belongs to your country, right? If I'm wrong, please correct me. And so for China to just be bullying the Philippines like that, bro, like, that's just wrong. I've never liked bullies. I don't like bullies. And I know it's hypocritical coming from an American where our country has bullied so many different countries in the world. But that's not what this video is about. I don't like the fact that they sprayed them like that. Like, that's definitely bullying, disrespectful. And I'm glad they created a partnership with India that got those missiles, and I'm sure that partnership is going to go much further than that. But let's continue the video.
Actively arming a nation embroiled in a territorial dispute with China. In today's video, we'll know the strategic motives behind India's decision to change its position on the issue of South China Sea. Before we begin, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to stay updated when we release new videos. The South China Sea is a 1.4 million square miles bit of a sea central to the Indo-Pacific. Besides being a thriving fishing zone yielding around 10% of the global catch, about 1/3 of all global trade passes through the sea, making many countries economically dependent on the region. In 2016, that amounted to some $3 trillion, including more than 30% of the global maritime crude oil trade. Critically, it is also incredibly rich in natural resources, 11 billion barrels of oil, and some 190 trillion cubic feet of gas deposits, something that each of these countries would love to get their hands on in the coming years. Right now, much of this sea is disputed. Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, Philippines, and Taiwan all lay claim to some part of it. But China claims historic rights to about 80 to 90% of the South China Sea based on a 1936 map that illustrates dashes called the 9-dash line,
That's
cutting through
crazy.
the exclusive economic zone of 5 other countries.
That's what it is, the exclusive economic zone. That's what I was thinking about that I'd seen in another video.
This has led to rise in tensions among these nations, but things have become especially dangerous between China and Philippines. The dispute mostly centers around the Second Thomas Shoal, a submerged reef about 200 kilometers from Palawan, but more than 1,000 kilometers from China's Hainan
God
Island.
dang.
Since 1999, Philippine Marines have occupied the shoal by grounding a World War II-era ship to assert their claim. These soldiers have to be resupplied every month or so, and these resupply missions are being blocked by Chinese ships using aggressive tactics like water cannons, lasers, and melee weapons.
That's
Recent
insane.
confrontations included the Chinese Coast Guard ramming a Filipino boat and brandishing makeshift spears, resulting in a Filipino soldier losing a finger.
Are you serious?
As the situation grows more tense, the Philippines' longest-standing military ally, the United States, has promised to honor the Mutual Defense Treaty. Signed in 1951, this pact requires both nations to support each other if another party attacks either of them.
Any attack on Philippine aircraft, vessels, or armed forces in the South China Sea would invoke our Mutual Defense Treaty.
Yet Philippines does not want to depend on the United States alone for its defense, and has
Understandable.
significantly enhanced its strategic partnerships with multiple countries through defense purchases and joint military exercises.
We have undertaken this long-term. It has been going on for many years now.
I can completely understand why you wouldn't want to be fully dependent on one country, and that one country being the U.S. I can understand how you would want to create more partnerships with other countries, especially countries that are actually around you. With India being not so far from the Philippines, right? Not as far as the U.S., I believe, and so that partnership it definitely makes sense to me as well. And having India as a partner, of course, is an incredible thing.
This long-term plan of increasing the capabilities of our military.
Of all the countries selling weapon systems to the Philippines, India's supply of BrahMos supersonic cruise missiles is of particular interest. The deal, worth $375 million, marks a key strategic shift in the region, because India, which has traditionally been a neutral player, now seems to be firmly wading into the South China Sea disputes. Both India and the Philippines have long-standing territorial disputes with China, which can now expect to see the BrahMos missile systems on its disputed borders with India in the Himalayas and in the South China Sea with the Philippines. The BrahMos missiles, jointly developed by India and Russia, have a range of up to 900 kilometers and a top speed of Mach 3. It is one of the most advanced supersonic cruise missiles in the world, capable of being launched from land, sea, and air platforms, making it a versatile weapon for modern warfare. The current versions of BrahMos...
Hey, China, y'all better quit effing with Philippines. Y'all better quit messing around with the Philippines. They creating alliances. They creating partnerships. They not playing games no more. They not going to be bullied for much longer, China.
have a range of about 500 kilometers, but the shore-based variant of an anti-ship cruise missile supplied to the Philippines has a range of 290 kilometers. This is to comply with the Missile Technology Control Regime, which places curbs on exports of weapons with a range greater than 300 kilometers. Satellite imagery from Maxar Technologies reveal that some of these units are likely to be deployed here. This looks like an under-construction missile base on the coast of western Luzon, facing South China Sea. The site sports similar buildings to what is seen in this image of a BrahMos site operated by the Indian Armed Forces. It hosts a high bay facility that supports the maintenance and testing of the system and a sheltered magazine bunker to store the missiles. Compared to Indian bases, the Philippines installation appears smaller. This is likely a result of the reduced capacity of the BrahMos systems that Manila purchased, which only have 2 missiles per launcher to the 3 found on Indian launchers. The new base allows the missiles to strike targets 290 kilometers away, including the disputed Scarborough Shoal, which is roughly 250 kilometers from here. Yet, despite the excitement and optimism, it is unlikely that the BrahMos will dramatically shift the balance of power in the South China Sea.
I didn't think so.
thanks to China's recent deployment of cutting-edge missile defense systems on both land and sea, creating a formidable shield against such threats. However, this landmark deal is likely just the beginning in India's gradual yet steady rise as a key defense supplier to countries in the global south. This is evident from the fact that countries like Vietnam and Indonesia have also shown interest in acquiring these missiles.
Both Vietnam and Indonesia have shown interest in this extremely versatile supersonic cruise missile.
Dang, so India's about to become a weapon supplier for so many different countries, it seems like, in the global south, which is going to do nothing but boost India's defense, but boost India's economy. And so they're making all these deals, and they're going to be able to profit from selling a lot of these weapons to so many of these countries. And that's going to be absolutely incredible. And it's understandable because that these countries would want these weapons in order to be able to defend themselves better. And so India's seeing an opportunity here, and India's going for it. You get a miss, like, y'all keep paying, we'll keep supplying. I feel
For nearly 3 decades, from 1993 to 2022, India has held the title of the world's largest arms importer. Recent data from the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute reveals that the country accounted for 9.8% of the global arms imports between 2019 and 2023. But now, things are starting to change. India has been strengthening its defense industrial base for both domestic consumption and exports. This chart shows India's defense exports surging from $185 million in 2016 to $2.6 billion in 2023, exporting to over 85 countries. India aims to reach $5 billion in defense exports by 2025, with a big chunk expected from the global south.
2024-25 तक हम एक्सपोर्ट के इस आंकड़े को 1.5 बिलियन से बढ़ाकर $5 billion तक ले जाएंगे.
India's motivations are not just limited to defense exports, but also the long-standing territorial disputes coupled with China's increasing presence in the Indian Ocean. China's so-called string of pearls strategy is of particular concern for India. The strategy is a geopolitical network of military and commercial presence in strategic locations like Djibouti, Pakistan's Gwadar and Karachi port, Sri Lanka's Hambantota, and Myanmar's Yangon port. In response, New Delhi has coined its own necklace of diamonds strategy by building partnerships with countries like Singapore, Indonesia, Japan, Mongolia, Iran, Oman, and Mauritius. Given this backdrop, India's decision to support the Philippines makes strategic sense. By doing so, India is not only countering Chinese aggression, but also strengthening ties with Southeast Asian nations. This cooperation helps India build a coalition of like-minded countries to maintain a free and open Indo-Pacific. Traditionally, India's defense relationships have been centered around major powers like Russia and the United States. By engaging with Southeast Asian nations, India is expanding its strategic horizons and creating new opportunities for its defense industry. Yet, it remains to be seen if India can grab a piece of global defense exports industry. Do you think India, which has been a net importer of weapons, transform into a net exporter? Share your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.
India is absolutely genius, bro. Not only will they profit from, being able to sell 5,000 in defense is absolutely amazing, but then you're also selling these weapons to people that China is trying to bully, so you're also countering China's aggression by providing these countries that China is trying to bully with weapons to be able to defend themselves. And so it's just a win-win situation all around for India, and I think it's truly incredible. And man, India's on the right path, but we've been knowing India's on the right path. We've been knowing India's rise, and so they're only going to get bigger, stronger, more amazing from here. Bigger, stronger, richer from here. So we'll see where they continue to go, and if this China-India conflict can't be settled with conversations and talks. That's all we have. If you enjoyed that, please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and then check out that next one. I'll see you guys next time.